Hi, welcome to my home. My name is Lisa, and this is my channel about cross stitch. And as you can probably tell, I've been sick for a couple of weeks, but I finally felt a little bit better, and I was anxious to work on all of my 12 by 12 projects, but I wanted to show you guys first my how far I got in the hour on the day of New Year's Eve. So I thought I'd get on here and try to do a video real quick so I can start working on those things again. I've got a ton of finishes to share with you. I had a cough and a headache, sore throats type of thing. That was how I was sick. And so I did a lot of sitting around. But then my cortisone shot kind of caught up with me, and I couldn't really sleep that good. So I just did a lot of stitching. So I have quite a few finishes. I think up until January 9th, I had finished something every day, which is crazy. But anyway, but then this week has just been a bummer. So I haven't really done much stitching at all. So my dog Sarah, who normally gets scared when we have fireworks and things like that, gets real anxious and pants a lot and shakes. And anyway, we had our power flicker off and on like 3 times in a row, and that will get her upset too. Well, it seemed like after that, for days, literally for like 3 or 4 days, she was like that on and off. And so, I mean, she was up the entire night, a couple of nights, and she's not content to just be someplace around you panting. She has to seem to be right in your face panting. So yeah, it was a frustrating week. So, but thankfully, last night was a good night. She had no problems, and so far today she hasn't had any trouble. So maybe she's back on normal instead of on Crazy Town, where she's been, and sending me there. So anyway, so I thought I would start with my finishes, and then we'll go to the 12 by 12. So hope everybody's been having a good year so far, and stitching all the things, right? Okay, so I'm not going to do them in any order. I had someone had given me this Blackbird book, In Friendship's Way, and inside it had the cutest little basket, and it's called the honeycomb basket, and they had done it in, you know, different Blackbird colors, and I always thought it would be pretty to do it in just beehive colors. Holy cow, a tree just fell down in the neighbor's yard. Thankfully, it fell short of their house. Wow. But I bet it just blocked the road. And somebody had just passed down the road in that loud truck. Sorry, that was distracting. Anyway, I thought I had my start the first time I did it. I did it on probably like an 18 count Ada, and I did it or maybe even a 20 count Ada, but anyway, it was super tiny, and so that wasn't working for me. I had to do the poke and stab, and so I just gave up on it. Well, I needed some things to do after I had started all those new projects, and I didn't want to get back to them yet. So I started a bunch of new things after that. So this was what I came up with. And I just picked a yellow, a couple different gold colors, and kind of an orangey color. And this was what I came up with. Now I had a sweet friend that I met through this channel who sent me so many things, but when I talked about doing that the first time around, she said, hey, I have one of the original baskets that this was finished in. Did you want one? And so I said, sure. And so she sent me one. So now I'm assuming I just have to cut this into a circle and gather it and stuff it and then just plunk it down in there. But so I'm gonna have to have a finishing day here pretty quick because I got a lot of stuff ready to go. So, and of course now that the wind is blowing, now my dog Sarah is in here acting all tense. You're okay, big girl. Yeah, you're good. I gotta sleep tonight. Okay, and so I also, as one of my whips, I had Fancy Carrots, which was one of the tidbits, tier trade tidbits by Stitching with the Housewives. And all I had done on it was just the corners with the orange and cream. That was the only part I had done on the piece so far. So anyway, I worked on that 3 evenings on and off, and so I was able to get a finish on that one. Then I pulled out our Whip Go numbers were called, and one of the numbers was Spell of the Moon. And so I decided to get it out, and I was able to get it finished. Now originally this was a restart, and I had done just the borders. But anyway, so I was able to get that finished, and so I'm real excited thinking that that's finally over. I had tried this so many different times, excuse me, and either didn't like my linen or my coverage or all kinds of stuff. So I'm glad to see that that one was finished. Another finish that I had was A Gentleman's Daughter. And so I've been working on this one for, it seems like, forever. And so I'm happy that I got it done. Larry just got home, so let me pause real quick. Okay. I told him to go look and see how bad that tree was. Anyway, I think I showed you this, right? So A Gentleman's Daughter, been working on it forever. And so I was able to get it finished. Yay. So now I just have to try to find a frame for it. Okay. Then, let's see. The other night, I was starting to run out of things to work on. And when I was in the sewing room, I had run across this one, which wasn't with all my whips, so it wasn't included in my whip parade. This is the Milk and Cream Company by Plum Street. And so I worked on it the other night until I got it finished. So I should have pressed stuff. It would have been pretty. I'm just kicking myself because I totally started this in the wrong spot. And I am like a ½ an inch away from the edge at the top, and then I got all this at the bottom. But anyway, I kind of picked my own colors, and Anyway, but I'm excited that that one's finished, so that was another one. I put some more work into, or let's do finishes first, sorry. I was looking through my account on Pinterest and trying to see which things I could start on a whim. And so I decided to do one of the, what's it called? Sampler and Santa's pairs. They have probably like, I don't know, 6 or 8 pairs that are free on their site. And so I did a bunch of pairs on my Christmas tree this year. And I had thought, oh, some stuffed pears on the tree would be pretty. And so I decided to do it in green. So I used DMC 520. And so I got that first one done. I started it and finished it in one evening. And so then the next night, I started the Merry Christmas one. And I got it finished, so. I don't know who I am. I'm like some stranger with a weird voice. Okay. And then I also was able to finish my stitching on my friendship piece, and this came out of the Book of Days. It was a free chart in there, and so I was able to get my trim sewed on. I got the lace sewed on last night, but I still need to sew on this vintage bias tape. I thought it was kind of pretty to jazz it up a little bit, so. But I thought I would share with you. I have been using it and been keeping track of what I've been stitching, and I wrote my starts up on the side and the finishes. So anyway, this is my little bookmark that I made to try to keep my spot. Okay. Then, as far as whips, I worked a little bit on a shepherd song. And then, let's see. I was able to put in another set of windows. Like over here, I had done probably 6 rows past the door, and so I did like 3 more sets of 3 more rows, and then I was able to do a set of windows and some more on the house. So I'm getting there. I might actually finish this house one of these days. I've got needles in everything. I gotta be careful. Okay, and then let me regroup for the 12 and 12. Okay, so now we're on to my 12 by 12s. Now in this, I decided to do all new starts every hour, and so I was able to the few days before New Year's Eve, I was able to get all my threads and stuff all kitted up. And it was really cool because I have these hat boxes that for the longest, I would just throw my skeins of DMC, if they weren't bobbinated, I would just throw them in this hat box for the longest. And so, but then I used it as one of the decorations in an area in my living room, and so I would seldom bring it out, and I would just take my chart to Joann's and get more DMC. Well, I thought, well, that's silly. I'm sure I've got DMC up there. And so I got that big old hat box out, and I just kind of divided it up, and I just pulled all the skeins out and divided it according to color in the top of the hat box. And so then whenever I was going to kit all these charts that I wanted to start, I was able to just take them straight from that hat box. And so I used fabric from my stash and threads from my stash, so I never had to go out and get anything. So I was excited about that too. But I actually got things on thread drops. I just really felt very excited when I got to this 12 by 12, and I thought it was going to be a real tiring ordeal, but literally, like, other than during dinner time, I was able to do pretty much the entire hour. I mean, I literally just sat there all day long and stitched, and I wasn't tired at all. So, okay, so one of them I chose was a chart that I got at StitchCon last year, and this is Autumn Doodles, or Doodles Autumn, by Heart and Hand. And so I started in the bottom corner, and I was able to get the little border around gather done. So that was that one. So, I mean, granted, I mean, there's not going to be huge starts in these because, like, you know, it was just an hour, and by the time you pull out all your threads and get all situated, there wasn't a whole lot of time. One of the last ones I did was one of the freebie Crocs from Pinker and Pumpkin, and she normally has a date stitched in the croc, but I just wanted to leave it off and just have just the croc there, so I was able to get that started, and I had just done like maybe 4 or 5 rows. I had done one of the pumpkins and like 4 or 5 rows of the croc. And so this was one of the things that I decided to work on after the 12 by 12. So this one I was able to finish. So anyway, so we got that. Hopefully you can't hear Larry in there. He's talking on the phone. So, okay, now I did, where's the cover chart? Here we go. I did Yuletide Delivery by Plum Street Samplers. And this one I'm doing on a piece of 36 count driftwood by Fabrics by Stephanie. And I was able to just get a couple pieces of the tree done. So this one I put inside, I put this one inside one of the first project bags I did. Okay, then this one's in a chicken bag. Oh, this one was kind of fun. I started Channing Street by Annie B's Folk Art. I started up here in the corner. And this is how much I got of that. This is on a piece of 36 count R&R. I think it's American chestnut. And then some of the called for and some of the ones that I liked best. So okay, and so I have already done the spring from this book, Seasons of the Heart. Sorry, I had to start coughing. And so I was able to start the other seasons. So this is on a piece of oh shucks, I can't think of what it's called. Maybe I'll think of it here in a second. So this one is the start of autumn. I just got the one side of the border done. And then for the summer one, I was able to get most of the one side of the border. I still have a few more berries to do. And then for the winter, I just got this much done of the border. But I'm excited about those. I'm looking forward to getting back to work on those now that I've shared them with you. I also started one from Not Forgotten Farm, and I started Parson Brown. That one. And I just started down the side and then started to do one of the boxes at the bottom. But I think those colors are gonna show up real nice on this fabric. I just picked my own colors, and so I think they're gonna turn out pretty. Okay, this one's in a real fancy project bag. Oh, this was another one of my finishes. I had started this after my last video, and it's another salt box from Pinker and Pumpkin. I think it's Aunt Betty's Blueberry Buckle Lane, something like that. So I picked my own colors, but I'm real excited about how that turned out. A very fun stitch. I had it done in no time. But now this one, on the other hand, the threads are not pretty. So don't worry, I haven't gotten there yet. I still do some weird stuff. Okay, I've got this one in one of my project bags I made. And I've got thread stuck in my zipper. Jeepers. Okay, so this one, I had the fabric because this was an exclusive from Fox and Rabbit did the fabric. And so I had ordered the chart and the fabric but I didn't have any of the flosses. And so, but I was kind of looking for something to start. I didn't quite have enough for 12. So I just picked eggshell. Boy, I wish I hadn't got this caught in the zipper. It'll work out. But so all I had was that thread picked out, and I worked on the moon. That was one of the hours for my 12 by 12. But this is also one of the Whipco numbers that was called. So I'm going to have to get moving on picking the colors for that. Already took that out. Okay, and so for some of my other starts, I chose this from Primrose Cottage. I started this one. And if you've been here before in my whip parade, you saw that I've already did the hive rules. Let's see. Oh, that was this one. I started them on all the corners of my fabric because I didn't want to cut it down. So that was this one here. I was able to get the little bee and kind. And then I think I'm doing the Believe in Yourself, this one here. And that was this one here. Or maybe it's the Be Sweet. I'm not sure. But anyway, I started 2 of those. Yeah. Okay, so let me see. So I had Parson Brown. I had the 3 Seasons, Channing Street, Yuletide Delivery, Autumn Doodles, Spring Moon, oh yeah, and then there was another one I started, which was just the little hive. So I started 3 in that, and then the crock that I finished. So that was my 12 and 12. So that was fun. I will totally do that again. Right up my alley. Okay, and so I did have a New Year's Day start with my friend Darlie. We both had this chart, so we decided to get it out on New Year's Day and start it. So I think she's doing it in the called for colors, but I just wanted to do mine in blue. So I just picked 3 different shades of blue. And that's how much I got started. I started to do this top part, and then I wanted to see if all the colors were gonna be okay, so I went down a little bit. So that's all I did on that one, though. 40 count is not my favorite to work on. It's getting easier to work on it, but it's totally not my favorite. So as far as plans, I'm just hoping, I just want to get all these back out and start working on them some more. And I have quite a few things I want to work on for finishing. I still haven't done any more on my drum. I did, however, when I was cleaning my sewing room, I found a frame that I think is going to work just fine for Rabbit Hollow. So I'm hoping to get that framed also. So stay tuned. Maybe I'll get a bunch of stuff accomplished. But, well, I'm going to head off here and go answer the 2 people that have called me while I've been doing this, and go check with Larry and see if he's ready for dinner. So, but I hope everybody's doing great. I appreciate you stopping back and seeing what I've been up to. I hope my voice hasn't been a complete bummer. But anyway, y'all take care and have a good day, and we'll see you next time.